Hey Jim, I think you're muted.
This is LL.
Yeah, I was over here doing a bit, and you were muted.
That was my bit.
Way to ruin the bit.
Yeah, I last minute, right before the stream goes live, I see a notification from Bamboo Lab that the homing didn't work, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
I was trying to start a print before the show, and so I ran in there. I said, go ahead and start it, and I ran back, and I forgot to unmute. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Makes right here on Hot Makes. This is LL Cool Caleb. That was your bit, right? That was
Yep.
Was it?
260 to the 518. yo, Mr. White.
Oh boy. It's been a couple weeks. Yeah. It's been too long. It's been a couple weeks. We didn't go live. So last week we're good, right? And then all of a sudden I get a notification that my internet's down at the studio, and I'm like, well, that's not great.
Yeah.
And then I kept getting notifications.
We had a guest that was lined up that wasn't really responding to us very quickly, and I was already getting nervous. And then as soon as you were like, yeah, and I don't even know if my internet's going to work, I'm like, you know what? Right. Let's just call it. And I reached out to Joe, 3D Printy, who is our guest tonight. And I was like, hey, do you think you might be able to come on? I know it's super last minute. This was on Sunday night. I was like, do you think you might be able to come on tomorrow? I know that's a really fast turnaround. And he's like, I don't know. So when we rescheduled, he was like, well, that might be doable. And I was like, all right, now we can actually do something.
Right. K2 Kevin, Beachfront Avenue. But yeah, so it's been a little bit, and we're here. No, under that, like the last one he sent. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. A1A, Beachfront Avenue. Anyways.
Also, Liz, she's talking about my cat on the background here, always going crazy. When we first got this cat tree, we put catnip on it. So when she gets up on the top, she goes nuts.
Yeah.
But I think it's entertaining. So she'll be fine.
So before we go too far, if you're new here, welcome to Hot Makes, where we have guests. We talk about cool stuff. Talk about the 3D printing community, and then people can tag us in on like Twitter and that kind of thing, and with hashtag Hot Makes, and we show cool stuff here as well. So that's what we do. We have a link in the description below that goes to a Google Doc that will show you almost every episode of 177 episodes of links that we've shown, or some that we haven't shown because we didn't have time. So there are, like, everything that's in there is in there, but some of we didn't get to show. So if you ever want to go back and be like, episode 72, what did they show? Right? Like, go check that out.
Or if you submitted something that you were like, I wonder why they didn't show that. You know, you can go back to episodes after that and see if we brought it up later.
Right. There you go. I like it. Also, link in the descriptions for the Oreo fund or Hot Makes fund, whatever you want to call it. I'm getting low. Oreo, send me some more.
Oh, you got yourself some double stuffed.
Yeah, these are Offset Maker Lab ones from Murph still. So I ran through.
How long ago was that?
The light side, dark side ones that Tripod's wife gave me, and now we're on to the double stuff from Offset Maker Lab. And my little guy, like Tristan, we bring him here, and he's like, "Daddy, can I have a cookie?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll bring you one too." Or, "Daddy, do you want a cookie?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Can I have one too then?" Like, he knows that trick, right?
Finder's fee.
Yeah. So there's that. But let's see. What else? We got lots of cool stuff. I'm curious, what are you drinking out there? Because we were talking a little bit about the show. I have a Liquid Death. If you haven't seen this, they make like water and stuff like that.
I love Liquid Death as a brand. Yeah. I didn't know that they made Arnold Palmer's or Dead Billionaire, as you pointed out.
This is. Yeah, tea and lemonade, and it's literally called Dead Billionaire, also known as Arnold Palmer.
Fantastic.
If you're looking for it, and I
is
like
it just
it a lot.
The tea, or is it sparkling like a lot of their other stuff?
No, it's just tea and lemonade. Yeah. And it's got like limited ingredients like agave nectar, black tea, lemon juice, citric acid, natural flavors, because that's not suspicious. Lemon is what I mean, and some other stuff. But I love it; it's so good, and I love the fact that they call it Dead Billionaire. Also, I just noticed it has a micro dose of natural caffeine, 30 30 milligrams per can. That's a big can for 30 milligrams. So
yeah.
there you go.
All right. So, sir, what have you been up to?
Not much. Oh man, busy. Just life and family, and we got back from all the trips. We talked about that last time, and it was just nice to hang out. More notably, since Friday, I've been working. Many people don't know I'm in the IT world, and when CrowdStrike blows up the entire world by pushing a bad update, it takes down hospitals, and that's what happened.
Took down airports, all sorts of stuff.
Everything. Yeah, it was like everybody that used CrowdStrike pretty much went down if you're on a Windows machine, and
that's so crazy.
So we have like 25 or 30,000 machines in my hospital group, and many of them were okay by rebooting, but we had several thousand that didn't come back up, so we had to actually touch them between me and several people on my team. And so I was working.
Pour one out for the computers that didn't restart.
Oh, they did. They did. Eventually, we just had to touch them, go into safe mode, and pull a file out from the CrowdStrike folder, and then it would reboot just fine. It was fine. But right, that's funny. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been having fun with that.
I don't know if it was in our Liz. I just noticed your message, so I'll make sure that's in our list here.
Nice. Yeah, I had one more thing, but what are you up to?
I saw something else on your list. But okay, literally like an hour ago, Sam and I finally got approval and finalized things, and money was exchanged hands, which in my book makes something official. You can plan for things, but as soon as you start working together on finances for something, that makes it official. Not East Coast Red Brat Festival, but 3D Printopia. I will be there. Sam will be there. Polymaker will be there. Jim, I'm understanding that you're going to be there. Yeah,
I should be there.
Yeah, so it's gonna be getting the gang back together. We're all gonna hang out again. Gonna get to see friends.
I'm super pumped. That'll be your first
I'm excited.
for Printopia, 3D Printopia.
3D Printopia,
yeah. Awesome. Heck yeah.
So I'm excited to see everybody there.
That'll be a lot of fun. I think it's always a good time. Baltimore is always fun, or not Baltimore, but you fly into Baltimore.
The Offset crew again.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be there. We'll pretend. Steven is responding right now, but I don't know, Steven.
What? What's wrong?
I'm just playing. But yeah, I think
Justin says Positron will be there.
Positron, yeah. Will be everyone's 3D Printopia. There you go. Final layer. You gotta get there. It's got to be cheap to fly from Chicago. But yeah, a lot of fun. Always a great event.
I'm excited. I haven't been to the East Coast event yet, so
Bel Air, Maryland is where it's at.
Let's see, end of September.
Nice. Hoping to have 20 positrons at LDO's booth. Well, that will be very positive.
Yeah,
I think
we got to chat with Jason about those at Rapid recently, and it was included as part of the video from Rapid.
Ooh, that's right. Where
Sam broke the positron.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say what? Yeah, nice work on those videos too, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. They're fun.
Yeah, people don't know, but you're the man behind. Well, yeah, they know because you get the band back together, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the thumbnail on that post, dude. That was the worst.
I love it. What time we got? Oh, we got a couple more minutes. Yeah, that was funny. Good. You guys did some funny stuff. I love it. What did I have on my? Oh, the last thing I want to talk about quickly. Yes. Maybe we could talk about this too with Joe in a minute, or maybe later in the episode too. But last week I really wanted to talk about Micronics. That happened the week before. But that was that desktop SLS 3D printer that they had in Kickstarter. And by now, I think everybody here probably knows that in the middle of their Kickstarter, they were purchased by Formlabs or bought out by Formlabs. And
that's right.
I have feelings on that. It's super cool. I know those guys, so a lot of
We
people
ran into
don't.
them at Open Sauce, I believe.
Yeah, they were at Open Sauce, and that's where they met the guy from Formlabs. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's where it went down.
But a lot of people, Nightcore, I'll finally collect my money. What do I owe you money for? I owe you money?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'll collect my money from him too, right?
Let me know what I owe you money for.
Joel and I are going to be in the parking lot with baseball bats, waiting for you to get out of the rental.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I super cool. A lot of people don't know. I didn't put a video out. I was waiting till after Open Sauce. Actually, nice. But they are from Wisconsin here. And so I had been to their shop a couple times. I had a Micron at my house for a couple weeks, and it was actually one of the ones they brought to Open Sauce. So I was using it. I brought it back to them so they could take it to Open Sauce, and then I was supposed to go back and pick it up to play with it to play with it longer. And Henry and Luke, dude, super young dudes, fresh out of college. Some of the smartest people I've met. It was just, they were just busting it sometimes, staying at their place like overnight to try to fit, to figure stuff out. And it's the true meaning of what a Kickstarter should have been. And I wanted to say that because Kickstarter now is like a pre-order system for these freaking companies. And I don't, it's Kickstarter should be like startups and that kind of thing, and that's what it was really meant to be, right?
From a Kickstarter point of view, that's super smart. Being a platform for basically being a pre-order system for companies, not just startup situations.
Well, and they make the money from it too.
Yeah, they're just everybody else is doing the work,
right?
Everybody else is doing the work and paying the people. You're just raking in a percentage of it.
Right. And I don't disagree. I hate the fact that these big companies are like, hey, let's go to, Kickstarter,
Kickstarter's been getting a really bad rap over the years too.
Right. But and they're like, I wish them the best. I actually was chatting with them. Henry and Luke, if you're watching, dude, I wish you guys the best. As you know, I was texting with you guys. But they're two super smart dudes. Ed says it's because they didn't want that printer to come to market. It might be. But I can tell you that they're going to be working on stuff at Formlabs. Luke is going to be jumping headfirst into the slicer stuff. He built a slicer from the bottom up off of Unreal Engine, the freaking video game engine. That's how their slicer works.
Really?
And it is super cool.
That is cool,
And Henry is going to be heading up one of their new products coming out and stuff like that. And these guys are fresh out of college, so I love that. So, hey, I wish you guys the best. I know there's a lot of people saying a lot of things, but you guys did you. I saw the operation they had, and I knew where they had to go to actually produce the amount of Kickstarters they would have had to produce. And there was a long way to go there. A long way for support, a long way for shipping, a new building, because the building there was really cool, but not big enough for what they wanted to do, right? So good for you guys. I wish you guys the best. Hopefully we cross paths again, and good luck in the future. So yeah, I think we'll see something come. I don't know. I have no idea, but I think we'll see something come from it though.
You heard it here first. Jim has the inside scoop. He talks to them on a daily basis, and he just said you'll be seeing something.
Not true at all, but I think we'll see something. I think there's a market, and I think Micron. This is just my opinion, but I think Formlabs wouldn't have purchased them for one if they didn't want to stop the competition, but for two if they didn't see that market starting to develop in front of their eyes, right? So they're smart. They're we'll see what happens. But all right, I'm done. It is 6:16. We promised 15 minutes or less.
Yep, we did. So you want to let's ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing in the master puzzles. I wanted to make a Photoshop that was like the master puppets.
Right. Have a good night, guys. Just joking.
My favorite part of that is I could see when you went
Yep.
trying to find the video.
Yeah, I was like, where'd it go? Anyways, I apologize. I jumped ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's just bring him in. You ready?
Yes.
There we go. All right.
Let's do
Joe, Mr. 3D printing himself. How you doing, Joe?
Doing great. Hello, Jim. Hello, Caleb.
What's up?
Hello. Hello, Caleb. Hello, Jim. Hello, Joe.
And everyone.
So this is not your official face reveal. We've already been through this.
No, there's been a couple minor face reveals here and there, but yes, people know.
I didn't even
people
know
know me mostly from the top down view with the hands on the table, which is just so much easier to edit video and splice together audio and just get away with so much editing when you don't have to deal with a face.
Right.
Yeah. And so I didn't even realize that though. So I'd seen your stuff on Things and what other platforms were you on? Were you on Printables too?
Printables, Things, and Thingiverse. Yeah. I've attempted to centralize things under a separate website that then links to those,
which is linked in the description of this video.
Awesome.
But no, I'd seen some of your stuff on those platforms, but I never honestly realized you had a YouTube channel where you kind of explained how some of those things worked. I know you had some videos in the posts of your, but I guess I never just put two and two together. So when you said, when I did a whole like recording with you at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival, thinking it was totally normal. And then shortly after that, you made a tweet, something about a face reveal. And I was like, you call that a face reveal? wait till our video comes out.
Yeah.
But
that event, I had a couple interviews. I forget who posted first, but you were within the first three or so.
Brandon Langdon in the chat too says that's an awesome backdrop. I was making those comments before we started.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cool. That was a mad rush to get it cleaned up for this. I appreciate the backdrop for the first 6 months or so of producing models. Everything I made just sat on the ground and was just a walking hazard, and I was just tripping over things and prototypes and all that sort of stuff. So like, I got to get a shelf, and then I had to get 2 shelves and 3 shelves, and I'm up to 4 shelves. And these are the things that make the cut. I have bins and bins of stuff that are like duplicate prototypes and stuff. So so it doesn't get much airtime, but it's there.
Well, right, it's getting airtime now.
Yeah.
Before we get too much
I love
further,
all the cool stuff behind you. I mean, that's like every time I look, I see something different. So that's, I know. Like, that's the fun backdrop.
Thank you.
Something different that I recognize. Like I'm kind of like peeking through to see if there's anything that hasn't been released yet. That I'm just kind of.
There is one thing, but you're not going to identify it because it's sitting flat and it looks too much like things that I've already released.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm usually working on 3 or 4 different projects, some of which never get released because I just don't like where it goes or where it just doesn't come to fruition. But probably next Monday's project is on the shelf right now.
That's exciting. So, but real quick, before I feel like we're already kind of getting into it, but typically what we'll do is in case anybody in the,
it's a tribute to the hot makes.
There you go.
This is tribute.
Oh, so cute.
All right.
If there's anybody in the chat, if anybody watching doesn't necessarily, if they haven't heard of you or don't necessarily know who you are, who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you?
I'm one of the many dozens and dozens of Joes that are related to 3D printing. I go by 3D Printy, which is not any more distinctive than my first name. So it's extremely difficult to get to Google me or find me. But I design just various toys, puzzles, fidgets, mechanical things, all for fun. This is very much a hobby project for me to kind of keep creative juices flowing. and I release a new project every other week. So 2 projects a month. Been going on for, I've lost track. 3 years or 4 years? 3.5. Let's say 3.5 years.
Wow.
So it's added up to quite a few projects. And probably this is more distinctive about me now than when I started. When I started, this wasn't a big deal. But every single project that you see back here is a free download. Will always be a free download. Everything's a Creative Commons attribution license, unless if it's like fan art. If it's like I've got I did the bobblehead series. So R2D2 bobblehead, that is not Creative Commons attribution because, surprise, I don't own Star Wars. I don't want to get in trouble. But that means that if there is a design back there that you like, not the mushrooms. The mushrooms are not Creative Commons.
The mushrooms are also Mario.
Yeah. Sadly, those are sold quite often against the rules. But anything that's Creative Commons attribution, you're allowed to sell. No subscription. You just have to say where the model came from. And because I do this for fun, and I really don't like mailing stuff, so I don't want to. I don't want to print and sell stuff for myself. So it's not like I'm competing with anyone in that regard. I like seeing the projects out there in the wild one way or another, whether people are giving them away, doing like geocache is a big thing for a lot of these projects. So particularly the puzzles.
Taking your puzzle designs, printing them, and like is the puzzle the geocache? Like once they find it, they have to solve it. That's so cool.
Yeah. Now you got to make sure it's printed in something that'll withstand the elements.
But still, that's awesome.
PTG would be good. Hobbyist 3D modeler, just making stuff and having a schedule to make sure I keep on being creative. Because without that, I'd probably just play video games the whole time and do absolutely nothing.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That is funny. I love it. I love that a lot of your stuff is free. I love that, you
don't see that too often.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you put so much time and effort into your models, and it shows. I mean, your models are awesome. So here's a good. How did that all get started? Like, what made you say one day, I'm gonna make a model? Like, how did that start?
Sure. Well, it probably goes back to being a little kid and wishing that I wanting to be an inventor when I grow up. I didn't know what that meant, but I figured I saw Doc Brown and I figured like that was the person to be. Don't have the science head for it, but I ended up going into industrial design, product design, which was a lot of fun when I was in college designing stuff and everything. But I ultimately ended up getting into just, you wouldn't tell it from my website, but web development as the day job. Which is great. It's reliable and all, but I did not touch CAD software for almost a decade, and I just was like, you know what? I really loved building, like designing stuff, and I hated the making models. I hated making models in class. That was my least favorite thing. In the time frame, foam model. You had to carve it out of blue foam. Glue it together with these specialty glues that wouldn't melt the foam, prime it, sand it, 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 paint it, mess up the paint job, have to sand off all the paint, and then repeat the process. Just awful process. So in the time since graduating, 3D printers became a more broadly available thing. So I was like, you know what? I could CAD stuff and just send it to a computer to do all the boring model building stuff that I hated.
Right.
So
I like it.
So I bought a 3D printer. I think it was a Cetus Mark II. This was a cantilevered metal. It's very industrial looking. This is past the age of the wooden 3D printers, but still pretty basic. Not a heated bed or anything like that. Made a few things, and but it didn't really take off because I had a couple projects, and I allowed myself to get bored and lazy. So a couple years later, I was like, you know what? I really want to try this again. I ended up getting a Prusa Mark III because an investment forces you to. I'm all about manipulating my own self to be not lazy. So if you spend X amount of dollars, you've got to do a certain thing to justify the money you spent. So I picked up a slightly more expensive printer to say, you know what, I've got to make stuff to justify this. And to force myself to do it, I'm going to do a schedule. And to force myself to stick to a schedule, I'm going to make a video on it. And I will publicly tell people that I'm posting the video. And
then you feel like you're going to have to, otherwise you feel like you didn't.
I've got to. So it's all about tricking yourself into doing the work.
Yep. I love that. I love that. So everybody, I've got a video production company that my friend and I run on this, not on the side. It's kind of one of our bigger things, but we've been going through some interviews lately for a salesperson. And one of the questions is that we usually ask people during the interview is, how do you, what ways, what mechanisms do you have in place to motivate yourself? Like, how do you make sure that you're meeting your goals even when you're getting tired or run down or in a rut? And everybody always has a different answer. I haven't heard the same answer twice. And I love, and I've implemented some of that stuff into my own daily life, So I love the idea of being like, man, if I'm making videos about it, then I have to stick to my schedule.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This got cleaned because this interview was coming up, so I had to do it. I had to organize the show.
I love it.
That explains the when I was like, well, what about next week? That explains the answer. I can make that happen because you had work.
No. I seriously spent probably 10 hours going through projects and dividing them into groups and rewiring things and all that. And now I'm kind of slow actually, but still it was a solid day of work.
Wow.
I hope I hope it was something you wanted to do and just used us as an excuse. Like, I hope it wasn't. I hope we weren't the reason behind it necessarily.
No, don't feel bad, because it was something that I wanted to do for months, and I didn't have the thing that would manipulate me into doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of like when we have people coming over and we're like, oh, I have to clean now because my 4-year-old has the house like a tornado, and my wife does a great job. Like, she stays home during the day, right? So Lindsay does a great job like running behind him, and when we're done, we put toys away. But man, you turn around for 5 seconds and like there's 17 different things out, and he's playing with this and then over here and then over there and over there, and then like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
So if we have people coming over for a birthday party or barbecue or something, it's like, okay, everything has to go, and for a couple of days it looks great.
That's the perfect analogy. During the pandemic was the worst time with my house. Like, just got so messy because it's like no one's gonna come over. It doesn't matter. You got months of clutter just piling up. So yeah. Things like that keeps you honest, keeps you organized.
I think there's two things that almost everybody's guilty of, whether they admit it or not. It's being the we're about to have company over, make sure everything's clean person, and it's the we can take my car, but hang on, let me move some stuff around real quick person.
Right. Yeah. I'm just going through while you're talking, and I'm starring questions real quick. I was not paying attention. I was actually looking at you. I was looking at his page too, and I was like, "Oh yeah, oh geez, there's questions." Yeah, I love it.
So what? So you've kind of explained why you got started doing designing in the first place, but what kind of started making you gravitate towards doing puzzles and I feel like the fidgets are a little bit more recent, aren't they?
So I've gone back and forth between puzzles and fidgets like just like almost a TikTok. It's kind of a often the fidgets will result in mechanisms that I can use in puzzles, and sometimes the puzzles will result in mechanisms that I use in fidgets.
I love
puzzles really. Oh yeah.
That's
once
awesome.
you come up with like a trick, it's good to reuse it to wring some use out of it. I think puzzles are. I think I can fairly say that puzzles were the primary motivator to get me to actually start designing again, because I always liked puzzles, but I wasn't super good at building them. Is a huge pain, just like building models. Like I said, when in college, building puzzles is a lot of work, unless you're doing like intricate Japanese wooden puzzle boxes and you don't have like the equipment for it. You're kind of stuck. So as soon as I got my newer 3D printer, actually no, I was designing puzzles on the Cetus Mark II. It's just none of them turned out well enough to ever release. But once I had the fancier, the nicer printer that could do the mechanical stuff, I started bringing to life some of the mechanisms that had been floating in my head for years. And then some of them, like I said, became fidgets. So probably the most recent example of that would be, this wasn't even at Remurf. This is more, I don't think I had this at Remurf.
I think you
this is
might have had like a prototype or a piece of it.
I had recently released this one.
Yes.
Hex Clip puzzle box. And I think my memory is terrible. I think I got home and I just felt inspired to start working on this, even though it had been in my head for some time. But the puzzle involved some magnetic clicky pieces in it, and I built some early prototypes of the mechanism. This is the mechanism that's on the inside of it. You got like a screw that goes in and out as you're spinning this middle piece.
Okay.
Wow. And it's got some magnets to give it a nice snap. Now the magnets are totally not important for the puzzle. It's solely there to give it a nice feel.
It's a good tactile.
Yeah. So much of puzzle boxes is about guiding people. If you think about a video game, if you're designing a video game or you're playing a video game, it's particularly puzzle based, like a Zelda one. You are challenged, but the video game developer wants you to solve the puzzle. They want to put in the hints. They want to put in the hints to help you, guide you along, and to make it a challenging but comfortable situation. So that resulted in these magnets, and this was sitting on my desk, and I was just fidgeting with it all the time. This is kind of fun, just kind of clicky. And so that's why I made a fidget that used the same mechanism.
Oh, excellent.
So the puzzle inspired the fidget. And then sometimes it's the other way around. Probably this is a print in place puzzle. So this was a different process, because I knew from the get-go wanted a print in place puzzle, which drastically limits what you can do mechanically. So I kind of started from a sense of literally imagining the puzzle almost as it's being printed, as I'm coming up with ideas, and that turned into sort of a 6 maze kind of puzzle design. So you're solving kind of like 6 mazes at the same time. 6 really easy mazes at the same time.
But you have to do. But the important, you have to do 6 of them at the same time.
I mean,
at the same time.
Well, when you say what is a maze is you can do one thing or you can do another thing. So this being organized here is one path. This being here is another path. This being here is another path.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if you abstract it out, it's like you've got 6 people walking through a maze. So each style has 3 possible positions. So it's like 6 people walking through 6 different mazes. In every step of the maze, they have to go to one of 3 paths.
Okay.
And then they do that again, and then they do that again. I mean, that's a type of maze if you think about it. And then because that would be just basically a combination lock, which isn't, in my opinion, a puzzle. That's not fun. Then the puzzle itself. I don't get me wrong. I'm sure someone loves sitting down and cracking combination puzzles like without using like mechanical hints, but just like testing all the numbers. But that's not me. So the puzzle itself is hints about each individual step along the way.
That's super
so
cool.
That's ultimately thank you. And then that's one of my few.
My brain just doesn't work like that. Like
I know. I love puzzles.
Sit down and like actually think about creating that. I don't have that attention span. I'd be like, oh, that'd be sweet to have this. Oh, squirrel. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I would do. But that is so cool that you put so much time and thought into those puzzles, because like it could easily be like, don't get me wrong, they were awesome, but everyone remembers those puzzle boxes where you have to like unscrew them. And it's like a maze, right?
Oh yeah. The maze, the nested.
I love
the classic one. I feel the classic 3D printed one that everybody used to put birthday money in, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, and there's ones that you can create, like how hard do you want it to be, how many little pins do you want, like all the things, right? You can customize how big it is and all this stuff, right? Which is really cool. But this is another level, to me, and I think it's cool that you take time and thought and put it together. It kind of goes along with Steven's question, and I wanted to pop that up. That's why I jumped in. He says a lot of puzzles are very intricate. How do you come up with the puzzle paths? Like, just like we're talking. I mean, like, man, in my brain, it just doesn't work like that.
By puzzle path, I'm assuming he's talking about like you were talking about with video game design. It's not just necessarily about, even in an open world video game, there's a specific kind of like story path that you're not revealing everything all at once, so the player is going through a path.
Yeah, there's so I am a little bit, everyone's a fraud in some way, to some extent. I don't solve puzzles. I am bad at solving puzzles. I love watching puzzle solves, and obviously coming up with puzzle designs. I have the patience to solve puzzles, but not necessarily. If you were to give, you ever hear the joke about like you put Batman and MacGyver in a room, who would get out of the room first, and it's like they would both struggle, but it's whoever one would actually just turn the doorknob rather than like try to like.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a bit like that. If you handed me a puzzle, I would spend too much time like thinking like, oh, it might be this thing, it might be that thing, it might be that thing. I'm very bad at following the path presented to me by another puzzle designer. But I like watching puzzle solves, and often when I'm doing that, or when I'm looking at mechanisms that I see, I'll just think like, oh, how would I do that? What was the thing that I was thinking of that was different than that solution? And would that actually be a good puzzle? Because often it's not. And then if that would be a good puzzle, then okay, how do I make that how do I 3D print that? And then once I've 3D printed that, okay, how do I guide the person along? How do I make it not just the combination lock? Because anyone can make a super difficult puzzle. You could just have one of those. You could have one of those nested mazes where it's just ridiculously big, where it's like, you've got 900 moves to get around this maze. Oh, and by the way, the very first step is 8 possible branches. Each one of those will take you 15 minutes before you get to the dead end of that branch. So now you've got to rewind. Yeah. That would be really easy to create an awful puzzle.
And before you start, turn around 3 times and do 2 jumping jacks. I mean,
yep.
Yeah. Like older video games, where you had really cryptic hints. Yes, you can always solve a puzzle box by smashing it, But that's why puzzle. The more serious someone is about puzzle solving,
Mm-hmm.
the more gentle you find they are. You could hand a real puzzle box enthusiast a puzzle that's made out of folded paper, and they will love it and respectfully follow all the rules and solve it. There's a lot of people who make Lego brick puzzle boxes.
Yeah.
Now,
and part of that is not disassembling it, finding the parts that are supposed to be removed. Yeah.
Right, and usually those puzzle boxes will come with a set of explanations, like, green bricks can be removed, or bricks that slide can be removed.
You can shake it, but don't smack it. You can rotate it, but don't spin it. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So you could get into these puzzle boxes, but that's not the mentality of most of the people who are solving these.
I want to see somebody print like the barrel puzzle entirely out of TPU.
I have spent the last year and a half. I've made no progress whatsoever trying to think of TPU-based puzzle boxes.
Oh, really?
Because I think there's a lot there. Yeah. So recently, I'm trying to think of who was it that made some puzzles, which they're not puzzle boxes, but it was on things, and it's you arrange I think it was Make Anything. I think it was Dustin for Make Anything. That you kind of arrange these puzzle pieces to create like pictures, like Picross.
Okay.
So you have different shaped pieces, and you push them on, and you make this picture. But the tricky thing about it is the pieces themselves are hinged. So they come into different possible arrangements because the pieces are in a way flexible. And when I saw that, I was he made a whole bunch, like a whole series of them. I think he's made like over 150 like puzzle challenges using the same pieces.
Oh, I see it. So there's so you print the pieces almost like they're like Tetris, but each block can be hinged, and you've got to figure out how to fit it into a frame.
Well, you're looking at it. Show us.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hang on. I'm pulling up my screen. I'm pulling it up.
You're like, I see it. It looks so amazing.
I'm telling you guys, this looks so awesome.
This is not radio.
I can't describe it. It's like Cthulhu here.
Yeah.
So while he's doing that, Geeky Toy Box says, what is Joe making to justify the latest MK4 purchase?
Oh, the Mark IV.
All the shelf, all of those LED strips are hidden behind black PLA strips that I printed and molded to hold on to the LED strips. And while any of my printers that I already had could have done that easily, that was my first 3D printer in a while that had actual input shaping. So that sped the process up considerably. I made like a few, probably about 80 of these copies of these, and that was a whole lot faster when I could divide the work up to between more printers. So that's how I justified that.
80?
Yeah. I bought each one of these takes up about 1/5 a kilogram of filament, and I bought dozens and dozens of kilograms, probably about 30 kilograms. I haven't used it all.
Do you have a go-to brand of filament that you typically, or do you just kind of like pick a brand based on the color that's going to make more sense?
I have a few go-tos. I live down the street from a micro center. So
nice.
Of course, I'll pick up an Inland, a Cookie CAD, or a Protopasta on impulse. And the Inland PLA Plus, I mean, this is candy apple red right here.
Yeah.
Let's see the Cookie CAD.
Cookie CAD. Let me see where I have my nearest.
Here's the Cookie CAD.
Cookie CAD. Oh, gotcha.
Cookie Cat is here in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Hello,
friend.
Let's see here. I think I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is unicorn.
Ooh, it looks like it could be
Cookie Cat unicorn. And I think I forget which one. This is like Sunset, or I forget the exact name.
Yeah.
But
that's the first.
I don't do much organic sculpture, but these are some examples. Put those back.
That's the first one I got from Cookie Cat, and that is just a gorgeous color.
It's one that we the first time I met them in person, we had them on the show, but it was the first time I met them in person was Rep Rap Festival, or the Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival last year, and that was Sarah and I had to go home with a roll of that unicorn.
Yeah. Sunset.
The other filament you'll see me use. Yeah, the other filament you'll see me use a whole lot of is Duramic 3D marble.
Okay.
However, I've got all the Printy panels, which you can see a few of back there, and kind of around the shelf holding other things. Those are all printed in it, and it's very strong, very consistent. However, I switched my Prusa XL nozzles from 0.6 to 0.4, and I'm kind of kicking myself for that. Because while Duramic 3D never gave me trouble in my other printers ever, for some reason, something that with that switch resulted in a lot of under extrusion, a lot of clogging, which kind of happens with filled
with marble,
filaments at times. So I'm tempted to switch those back over to 0.6.
Were you at a 0.6 because it printed the panels faster?
Just because that's what it came with.
Gotcha. And I didn't know that. I didn't know it came stock with a 0.6.
Oh, originally they switched it to 0.4 when they went to when they went to faster printing profiles as the default. I'm pretty sure you could order it with either. So those are the filaments I use.
Those Printy panels are awesome, by the way. I've seen them.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen them at shows like multiple times now. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh, there they are.
That's what I love to hear.
Karen says you could use PVA and just dissolve it. That is kind of a fun idea.
Out the hook. Well, the DJ revolves it.
You print a puzzle, and part of that puzzle is you have to put it in the water to dissolve it to get your actuations to move or something. That's kind of
that's
cool.
True. But then in the rules of puzzle solving, you would have to say that external tools are allowed in that case.
See.
So now the most clever puzzles I've seen are ones that have not said that external tools are allowed, because they aren't. You can only use yourself, but the yourself that you use is blowing air. There are puzzles that involve actually blowing air, because that's you. So you're not an external tool. That's you.
Yeah.
Or body heat. So color transition filaments, not color transition, thermal transition color filaments is something that I've considered or thought about for quite some time. And if I could just get that perfect filament where you had a perfect color match when it's cold with another filament that doesn't change color, so I could print it side by side and have like the old Transformers toys where you like
like the reveal
to reveal a thing. So you could have like a thing that looks like an extremely obscure box or whatever, but if you were to apply body heat to it, it would reveal hints in different places. But obviously that would only work if it's not obvious what is the color transfer or color changing filament and what is normal filament.
Right.
So I'm always thinking of these things.
It'll be obvious.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Karen also has a question. What model have you designed that didn't get as much attention as you expected?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah. Almost all of the puzzle designs do terribly. If I were As far as attention and video views and that sort of thing is concerned, if this weren't a hobby and I weren't just doing it, ultimately picking projects based off what interested me, you would have half as many puzzles, if not less, from me. But let's see here. Any other projects here that I was surprised didn't do particularly well?
Or let's add the opposite of that. Is there anything that you were like, I don't know how this is going to go, and it blew up?
That happens a lot. The bobbleheads was absolutely a little side project where I was just, because this is a fully 3D printed spring.
Sure.
So I was just focusing on the mechanics of PLA springs.
Sure.
And that blew up really well. A lot of containers. So this is, I've been thinking a long time about using shutter-based mechanisms for puzzles.
Yeah, like bread boxes.
Because something that looks, absolutely, a bread box. But tambour doors were something where I'm like, imagine if you have this flat surface. And it just looks like a texture, and you don't have the handle or anything like that, but you go like that to reveal a new compartment. And keep in mind that would have to be like step one of a multi-step puzzle. But the idea is you'd have like a puzzle with lots of these details, and sometimes it's a door, and sometimes it's purely texture. And you just know you figure out the right one to test. So I was playing around with that, and I haven't made a puzzle based off of that yet. But to test it out, I went with the classic bread box style layout, and I thought it was a good size for tea bags. And this one just really took off in a way that I didn't expect, to the point where it distracted me from making a puzzle over it. So this is sort of in the back burner. This is in the back burner where I have multiple puzzle designs that are just kind of floating around, and they'll eventually become a thing.
I like forgive me. I've known him for probably he'll have to chime in, maybe like 8 years now, and I don't know how to pronounce your name, sir. I'm so sorry, but good point. That could be a question for every episode.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
that guy. What's funny is quick side story. Years upon years ago, my friend Pete and I were working on this kind of experimental idea of 3D printing letter blocks for traditional letterpress printing, kind of combining the old machines with the new machines, 3D and 2D. And he was following.
Everyone wants to turn 3D printing into a 2D printing project.
Now they do.
Now they do. Forge, but I love. Sorry,
but at the time, it wasn't really something, especially with the letterpress printing specifically. And he said I can pronounce it however I want, so that's cool. So Bosch, I'm just gonna say Bosch, started following that project we were working on, and he and I talked a little bit over Instagram for a little while, and then years upon years go by, and he's in the chat on Hot Makes. And I reached out and I was like, "Hey, that's cool. You're still following my stuff." And he's like, "Wait, that's you?" Like he was watching the project we were working on, and then he started watching Hot Makes, and then eventually we put 2 and 2 together, and he realized it was the same person.
That's awesome. It's a small world.
Yeah. But but he brings up a really good point. Like, we could probably ask that for everybody. What's something that you weren't that you were expecting to get big, but it didn't,
and vice versa.
That's
what she said. Here you go.
Wow.
K2 Kevin, how long does it take for you to prepare for an event? You always have bins and bins of fun.
Bins and bins of fun.
Well, most of the work was the designing all the stuff to begin with. But yeah, I'll spend easily 3 or 4 hours with literal actual tote bins, going through and like, okay, I'll bring this, I'll bring that, and And then the actual setup for Remurf, it took me hours to organize the table because I'm actually rather persnickety about those sorts of things. I used to do like comic book conventions, and the idea of, when you're setting up your table and like how you organize things, and part of it is like whether or not you get attention is ultimately outside of your control. So because it is outside of your control, you obsess about every little thing as if that's the thing that's going to get people to pay attention to you. So so with the Printy panels, I was like building them up, taking them down, moving around, like, oh, this side will be puzzles, this side will be fidgets,
Well, as we saw on at Rocky Mountain and on the video, I think there was a good chunk of you in the video there that I put out. Your table was awesome, so
thank you.
It paid off. The time paid off. We do have another one, Tech Jeeper. It says maybe multi-material with TPU buttons where you have to push down a correct combination of buttons to unlock the puzzle.
Or take that a little bit further.
He's like, but wait, there's more.
Well,
What
if
if the TPU, like the flexibility of the TPU was kind of part of it, where you can push it down too far and it won't unlock the thing.
Ooh, a trap.
Got to push it to
you'll need to level. You'll need as long as you have a reset of some sort, because you don't want to, punish someone too hard. But yeah, absolutely.
You're done. It's over.
I do like
forever.
the idea. I do like the idea of the button. What you do is you take something that someone knows how it operates normally, and you manipulate that. So a button is a two-state thing. You think it's not pressed, it's fully pressed. But what you could do is you can do a half press. And if you just press it gently, that opens up a path going this way for something else. So you hold this gently while you're pressing something else. So yeah, absolutely. And TPU might be a good option for that. And these are, by the way, multi-material TPU PLA Braille cells for learning Braille. And they're just, this was based around the fact that a lot of assistive learning devices and things are just really expensive. I've seen some numbers thrown around here that I think are maybe a little too high. I don't think they're that expensive, but this is a couple bucks in plastic, and they charge way too much for something like that.
I wonder if Courtney has seen that design.
Yes, Courtney and her daughter Reese helped me out with identifying how hard this resistance should be for these prints. So yeah, I am very big on the idea of multi-material printing. So a TPU puzzle, like I said before, will probably be multi-material in nature, because you'll probably need some rigid structures in addition to the flexible ones.
Here's a good one.
Oh, do you have a printables plaque?
I can grab it. It is.
Okay. We're here. I didn't realize we were talking to a.
So the answer is no. It didn't make the shelf.
No. It was on the shelf, but it was it's on the bottom shelf, because all this. So the bottom shelf, I can't really show it that well, is almost all stuff that other people have designed and I've printed copies of. So it's just like, because it's stuff that I really like, but I want to I want to kind of challenge myself to make my own things. So I kind of like have it sectioned off in a way. But yeah, so I didn't make the sign, so it belongs on the bottom shelf with all the other things I didn't make. So yeah, here we are. It was very nice to see, to get, and by numbers. So that was very motivational. So yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And now it's going back in the box where it's nice and safe.
I love it. Oh, that's funny. Well,
the cat will eat that. Will chew on the corners of that plaque if it's not put away. I'm certain of it.
So here's another question. is there anything you're working on that you could give us, like a sneak peek or a hint, or maybe it's top secret, you can't? But
I think you did. It's in the background somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Well,
okay. So
there could be many things at once, right?
Yeah, this may or may not be next Monday. We'll see.
May or may not be.
So
exclusive. Maker news.
Yes.
Wow, doing it.
So when I had these at Remurf, multiple people showed up at the table who were teachers, instructors for VI students, visually impaired students.
Right.
And this was initially made with the idea of you're just simply learning the characters. Like it's not a way of communicating or anything like that. But they expressed an interest in like an actual larger something that you can make as like a sign. So the problem is when you start getting with the larger prints, things become more difficult. You have to start worrying about bed print size. TPU in particular can fail spectacularly sometimes, and you also don't want to have too much TPU surface, or it becomes very, very difficult to remove. So these are tearaway individual cells with little registration plugs here and PLA locks. And so depending on how well this comes together, I may be releasing either next Monday or maybe a few weeks from now. Some other project might jump in there first, but cool. A different take on it. And then there's one where it's nice. All merged together. If you have this doesn't have the buttons installed in it yet. So that's something I'm working on. Got about 3 different puzzle ideas that are floating in the air that are maybe scribbles. This is a prototype for this where I was working out the mechanism. So sometimes a project will reach this stage where I'm purely just designing a prototype for the mechanism and trying to figure out, like, will it actually work the way I think it is? Because surprisingly, there are so many times where I've designed myself into a corner where it just doesn't work. So that's a sneak peek that I have on hand.
And
I love it.
I was thinking this internally, but I didn't I was like embarrassed to ask, but Bosch brought it up, so I'm not alone. How do the Braille things work?
Yeah, so these two both
there's a reason they're TPU.
Well, not entirely differently, but differently. So this one is a fully TPU case with PLA buttons, and what's going on inside is the TPU is bulging like squeezing like this in the middle, and the PLA buttons is like an hourglass shape, but there's another divot high up. So as you push the button down, it bends the TPU out just a little bit until it can snap into the next track. You literally can, I might need a pen or something, but you literally can just push these right out the other side.
So
if you push it far enough.
Levels, does that make it so that each cell, for lack of a better way of putting it, you can be configured to any character?
Yeah, so you press whichever dots in the cell you need to create the letter you want. Now, if anyone can read Braille, they're like, "What is this guy doing?" Because I cannot write Braille nor read Braille, so I'm not actually making anything. Or maybe I am making something.
That was very offensive.
And I'm
we
sorry.
Can't go that here. No.
and I'm really sorry. But and then this one is a hard rigid PLA case because a TPU is a little more expensive, especially if you're going with the softer stuff. It's a little more difficult to find.
Sure.
So this is a PLA. This is a PLA case with TPU inserts. So I just print just the gate part in TPU, then you mush it in there mid print. Then resume the print and it locks it in place. And then you just push the buttons in. So I like how this one feels better, but actually, the feedback I've gotten is that people who use this the most enjoy the softness of the TPU case. So I try to design options.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you can't give us an A, is what I'm saying. Give me an A.
No. Let's see. I know it's going to involve. I know it involves either this and this, or this and this, or it's because it starts out in like the top left-hand corner, partly to help. I don't know.
You heard it here. He's a fraud.
Yeah. Awesome.
I had to look it up for when I was doing the video. I wanted to genuinely write out a thank you message or thanks for watching kind of thing. So I had to look it up. The thing that I did not know is that Braille writing comes in multiple shortcut versions. So when you're writing a word, like for example, Braille itself is spelled, I think it's BRL, like it's shortened.
Okay.
So if you want to write a message in the more efficient style, you kind of need to know what those shortcuts are.
Are there characters for commonly combined characters for noises like TH or SH?
There are I know there's special characters for things like mathematical concepts and special characters. I don't think it's phonetic like that, but I could be wrong. It's not like sign language, where sign language is much more fluid in the creation of new signs. So if you watch The Boys, for example, when Kiko is referring to butcher, she uses a claw, a butcher's claw, like a meat hook.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is the sign for butcher, but you're expressing a thing about that occupation.
Yeah.
So that naturally evolved. So sign language is a little more fluid than I think Braille is.
I don't want to talk too much, boys, to give it away if anyone didn't see it, but I finished the latest season, and whoa.
I haven't seen any of it yet. I haven't watched a single episode of The Boys.
What?
Nope. I have not.
There's a character that uses sign language. Oh no, I spoiled everything. No.
Yeah. Oh man,
what streaming platform is it on?
It's Prime.
Is it Prime? Yeah, that's probably why I haven't watched it. I don't really watch anything on Prime.
Well, you should watch The Boys.
Okay.
I heard that her sign language in the show is completely original. I think they went over that in the middle of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are elements of it that are definitely. Yeah, there are elements of it that are definitely more commonly used sign language, but I think it does. Again, I'm a fraud. I don't read sign beyond a few letters, but I know enough that it is at least somewhat based off of ASL, American Sign Language.
I know. I remember. So Sarah used to be. She used to be a special needs preschool teacher, so she knows a lot of ASL that she's learned over the years. And I don't remember a whole lot of it, but she's taught me a little bit here and there. She's taught me a little bit here and there, so that we can kind of, so that her and I can kind of communicate silently in a group of people if we're getting tired of, if our social battery is running low or something.
It's also very popular for infants, so you got more.
Yep.
I forget. I think is that thank you. I could be wrong, but
I think this this is thank you, and then this is you're welcome. I think.
Yeah, and I know Kitty Cat because Zelda, my cat.
Yeah.
When my nephew was born, we were it was early just going into COVID times, so I had a lot of video chat. So good the kitty cat to bring Zelda to the screen for him to look at.
I learned that I think it's this that means eat, but don't go back. Like, don't go up and down with it, because that means something totally different.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh.
Bathroom? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think
you weren't expecting this topic.
No, yeah.
No, my mom used to teach and work with. She worked with people with disabilities as a nurse for a place where they worked, like, you know, people of all sorts of abilities, right? And she was a nurse, and she had to use sign language a lot and taught it. And so I picked up some, like I could do my name and, you know, that kind of stuff, but not nearly as much as I should have probably. But it was always interesting to watch her sign, you know, to everybody, and that was kind of fun. Jumping off the sign language topic, should we look at some hot makes?
Yeah. I guess
So
that's
I everybody off. I mean,
yeah. Do you want to hang out and check out some of the things that people have? You're definitely going to want to see at least one of them. There's one of them here.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I very much would like to see.
Let's do hot mix.
All right.
Let's do it. Just in time. I saw that happening behind the scenes. You were like, let's do hot mix. And then I started the bumper and you're like, wait, crap, I don't have them up on the screen.
True. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I need to put it up real quick. Trying to make it as big as I can. There we go. Offset Maker Lab designed by CM, created a killer toy version of the Mecham Death Racer. I remixed it to make the Bridezilla. Let's see here. Go back. There you go.
I feel like that's a pun. A killer toy design.
Yeah, it's a killer. Definitely killer.
Clever girl.
Yeah.
I love
I like that they made it the Bridezilla. Kim would love that, I think. And yes.
Man, the wedding is soon, isn't it? I believe it's is it this year?
October, yeah. I'm gonna give out the address in one of the episodes coming up, so we can all just crash it.
Oh, you're gonna dox their wedding?
I'll do it, but I'll do it a video. Like look for this.
Oh my god!
There's gonna be a secret giveaway, but you have to show up at this location at this time, and then like.
Oh no! I thought you meant you were gonna they were gonna be up there giving their vows, and they were gonna just like stand right in front of them. Hey, everybody! This is Jim from the Edge of Tech.
That would be actually no.
I'm here at this offset wedding.
What you might not know is I'm actually officiating.
Oh really?
No, they would not let that happen.
I totally thought you were for real.
That would be funny though. All right, nice work. I love the replica. And Bridezilla did a nice work at Murph too.
I want to print one of these little.
I'm sorry you're missing a couple chunks though. That's my fault.
Ooh.
Retro Maker.
I feel like this is going to be. I just feel this is going to be the most 3D printing related wedding ever because there's a few other weeks involved.
Yeah,
and some backstory. So.
Absolutely. First annual Nerf. I got 2 turntables and a micro mixer.
I love this.
Yeah, there you go.
His like I don't know what was just happening. His record like coaster design, like I just love it, and I love that he's got the record player like coaster holder as well. This is cool.
These are actually it looks like Technique 1200s. Correct me if I'm wrong, Retro Maker TV, but I believe
here's Jim flexing the fact that he used to be a DJ.
I'm pretty sure those are Technique 1200s. I could be wrong.
Well, and it's sitting on one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The background.
It's even like the same model. Mm-hmm. Like the lights are in the same pattern and everything. That's cool.
Yeah, in the center. Yeah. I love it. It's so cool. He comes up with some just so much fun with the TVs, with all the old, retro stuff that he does.
Yeah.
All right, Fix 'em Dude. This is a fantastic BD1 kit card by Universe of Emily. Mute my sound, please. You already did. Okay.
It's already muted.
This is pretty short.
What?
Oh, I need to turn this down. Hang on.
Oh, this is exciting.
Card, and I need to make this.
I love the kit card designs.
Maybe I should put it on the big printer.
So this is wait, so did she design it, or is this?
Oh wow. She's actually sanding and printing it and everything.
Oh wow. Okay. I gotta show Sarah this. She loves the chicken droid. The chicken droid, as she calls
all from a kit card, huh?
Yeah.
That's
she said cool. She's across the house. She said they're cute. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was it's Fix 'em Dude's design. That's why I was confused at first. This is so cool.
There we go.
Slightly larger than the standard Fix 'em Dude scale.
So, yes, I have a. I don't know if I've shown it.
I think the scale she printed it at was like 1:1 scale, though. I think that's about how big they are, based on what it looked like when she was holding it.
We'll have to, yeah, we'll have to check that out. Maybe Fix 'em Dude knows. BD1 by Fix 'em Dude, yeah, awesome. Yeah. And Fix 'em Dude tagged it, and don't forget, 5 hours ago there was only 25 hours left to get Battle for Mars, the 3D printable playset series on Kickstarter.
I love this.
Yeah.
It feels so much like toys I had when I was a kid. I know that's the point. You know, I'm not saying anything new, but it captures that so well. Very cool.
Next. I guess that was next. There you go. So check it out. If you're interested in that. It looks really cool. I love you know, like you said, it kind of makes me think I'm little again, playing with know, little toys. Super cool. All right, next.
What were those? They weren't Playmobil. What were those? They weren't Playmobil. They weren't Little Tykes. It was a different brand, but it had that very like specific kind of like chunky, like rock formations and kind of chunky doors and buildings kind of look. And it was all that thick plastic.
I don't remember make like castle sets and things like that.
Yeah. But it wasn't Playmobil. I don't remember.
I don't remember the name brand. It
wasn't Fisher Price.
I probably need an Oreo. Printed with Polymaker 3D prints, ash gray, black, PLA CF silver, silk, and it was a GAM body. Let's see. Let me get this. There we go.
Is this what I think it is?
No. It's not who you think it is.
Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't what I thought it was. Do you even know what I was thinking it was? What was that? What was that interaction we just had? What was that?
You were thinking it was the guy who makes the RC.
No, I didn't think it was Danny Hewen.
You didn't? Okay, that's where I thought you were going with that.
I was thinking it was a Mad Max thing. There's I think it's a Morton Joe's vehicle that it's kind of like a half truck, and then half of it is like two back halves of the old ambulance that they made the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 out of. And that's what I thought this was, but no, this has like a Volkswagen Beetle backside.
Yeah. It's cool looking. When I saw this at first, it made me think of that guy's prints though, or that guy's creations. The RC ones with the guys that like drive it and all that stuff. And it looks like my little guy says, Hi, buddy. Hope you had a great day, a good trip, and had fun at the pool. So yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Final layer. Jeremy's with us, I think. With us. I finished up my deposition sound FDM Geos, printed in Protopasta Galactic Empire metallic purple.
I have yet to make a set of these, but I want to.
Yeah, I'm frustrated that I didn't get time and make time to go talk to them more at Rocky Mountain.
We saw them multiple times and we were going to go say hi to them, but we didn't.
Yeah, and I didn't get over there. And by the time I was ready to go over there, they left early.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't get to talk to them. Have you seen these, Joe?
Yeah.
Let's reach out to that specific. We can get them on the show at some point, at least.
For sure.
For that specific print, is anyone else getting GameCube vibes?
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I was trying to figure out what it was. It's definitely the purple, and then the speaker looks like a disc. That's what was getting me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. I'll show you something in a minute. If Tristan is still watching, let me know, Lindsay. If you guys are still watching, I'll bring something up. But yeah, definitely GameCube vibes. And I would love. Actually, it'd be fun to print that in GameCube colors. Like actual, like closer to GameCube colors, but
maybe really like with some yellow accents and stuff.
I really, really do. And I checked out their website. They have some really cool stuff. There you go. They even commented. How Jeremy, let us know in the chat how do they sound? That's my question. Like how actually do they sound? Because I'm super pumped about these. I really want.
The only thing that I can hear in my head right now is the GameCube like startup. That's all I hear.
Nice.
Boom. Yeah.
Hang on.
Lindsay says you're still watching.
I see. Give me 1 second. I gotta. I think I'm lost.
Did you skip one on accident?
Huh? Dude, what? Who? What'd I do?
Never mind.
I don't think. Maybe I did. Did I? Next is Trevor 3D Prints. I can't believe it's almost been 2.5 years since I originally did this. Time flies. Boom.
Did we? I feel like we looked at this.
I feel like we saw this 2.5 years ago, probably.
It looks
definitely familiar.
Was that when Pooch was still?
I think so. Yeah. Let me mute this here. There we go. So if you ever watched Mark Rober's stuff, they did like the world's smallest Nerf blaster a little while ago. And it is super cool to watch. But they also put a printout for everybody to do, and it was free. And I think I actually showed it back in the time when I printed one, and I showed it here. And recently it broke. So I wanted to show Tristan real quick that I'm printing a new one. You can see it right there on the printer, buddy. And it's yellow. So there you go, buddy. I'm printing
Fantastic.
It's on its way. But my little guy loves yellow. It's his favorite color right now. And the current one like barely blasts. There's like no blast left in it. So oh, here you go. So clear, they can get loud. They designed a subwoofer too. Nice.
I'm excited.
You're welcome, buddy.
I gotta build a set at some point.
Yeah. There you go. Have you ever thought about resin in your models?
Ooh.
Like a button?
I have a resin printer that is a Elegoo Mars Pro. I think the original Elegoo Mars Pro.
A couple years old, yeah.
That I've never used. Nice. I am borderline. I am terrified of resin. I will eventually figure it out. But it's plugged in.
When you get used to FDM, the concept of resin feels so alien.
Yeah, I also have it in a carpeted room, which is not a good idea. So I think I've got to.
Well, I'm thinking like you could make some cool windows for your puzzle. Maybe you like something slides. You could do it in FDM, like a clearer FDM too. But like maybe there's a window where you see a mechanism and you have to like twist something to a certain spot, but you only can see it through that oh man.
Or going the same thought process as like the GameCube route, like the Game Boys. Like make a puzzle that's like translucent shell on the outside so you can see all the internal mechanisms as they're moving around.
Something that that I originally bought that with in mind, but I haven't done any progress on whatsoever, was the idea of a clear puzzle where you're guiding an actual maze puzzle. You're guiding an air bubble through a color liquid that's cool. Inside the puzzle.
That's cool.
You need really, really crystal clear prints, which I believe you have them coming up. A Hulk, if I remember correctly. That was reminding me of that goal eventually doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice work, Trevor 3D Prints. And next All right.
Do we have another? Oh, we have a new backpack printer.
Not even going to attempt to say this, but Carlos 3D print looks like. I'm guessing. Here you go.
Fantastic. I love that the whole thing's a big hexagon too.
Prusa Mini in there.
That's
We're
awesome.
sticking with the brand with the hexagon.
Yeah. And there's kind of like drill batteries on the bottom.
Yeah. What is it? Hexagons are the bestagons.
They're really easy to design with. If you want a shortcut to a good design, start with a hexagon.
Yeah.
I think Sven Clockspring loves hexagons.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No. They're mechanically strong.
Yeah, and like you said, you can do tons of stuff with them. Next, Trevor 3D prints again. Someone loves their bamboo. Someone loves their bamboo printer. Here you go.
I like this. Where's the rest of the print? I want to see more.
What did they? I wonder. Let me look.
I was thinking it came out of the wall like that. Like you hang it on the wall and it's like Slimer's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's some other prints that they do that it's like an alien looking out of the wall.
Yeah, and you maybe do like the arms, so it's separate. That's just an assumption I had.
He slimed me, Ray.
Let's go see.
No,
oh, that's sweet. Did you just look?
Well, I just scrolled through and I didn't.
Oh, whoa! There you go. Unicorns. Something I just found. Look, Hot Makes. Tell me that's a unicorn toupee. Please tell me that's a unicorn toupee.
What do you think? The unicorn is balding? What?
Well, the way it's a separate print, I think.
The hair?
It's not multi. Yeah, it's definitely a separate print.
Oh, that's what you meant by
it's definitely a unicorn wig.
Toupee. Okay.
I love that idea. You can make them any colors you want then. Super cool. Nice work, Trevor 3D prints. All right. Zombie Hedgehog.
I
don't know who that is anyway. Austin. But made a fun Polymaker 3D project out of their metallic PLA Pro line. This is Yellow Underground grader by Blackjack, printed in Polymaker metallic gold, black, silver, and red.
This is gorgeous.
Quite complicated to put together in tons of 3D gloop. But dude, this looks so good.
That is so cool.
Yeah, they're amazing.
If my little guy is watching still, Tristan's probably like, I want that.
Oh, of course. That is so clean. I love that.
It looks so good.
Now the wheels look like they actually are properly hinged. I don't think it's just positioned like that. It looks like they actually might move.
Yeah.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
How does that work though?
Well, I mean, I imagine there's a pin.
Well, yeah, but there's a link to the project.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know if he's watching, but he could tell us. I'm pretty sure it looks like a pin, maybe a screw pin or a push pin.
Oh, there's even wow. Yep. Yeah, if you go to the Maker World page, there's they included GIFs in their post too that are showing how to assemble it, and that's cool.
Should I make more? Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So the back half. Yeah, if you scroll down, you'll see there's all sorts of articulation. It's not just the front wheels. There's also the back half.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
It can shake its butt.
Rear suspension. Butt shaking. I mean, main body tilting is what I meant. Rear bucket. Oh, that's super cool.
Very, very cool.
Oh man, this is a lot of parts. Hey buddy, I don't know if we have time to print this tonight.
Not tonight, but
8 plates and 16.5 hours of printing, according to
16 isn't too bad. I figured it'd be more than that.
I mean, that's 16 hours of printing. Is that 8 plates?
I don't know. I don't see a banana for scale. So.
Is that 8 plates on one printer? I don't know if Austin's with us, but I'm curious. What if I put it across 6? I mean, all right. Nice work. Love it. I love the colors, and your execution is flipping really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tech Jeepers next. Made a sign for bought, built, and used mirror gold acrylic behind the laser cut wood with Polymaker 3D Starlight as the frame.
Ooh.
First time I used the mirrored acrylic, and I love how it turned out. There you go.
Mirrored acrylic is amazing. It's hard. I have a hard time finding it for like a good price, though.
Sure. I bet. That looks really cool.
It looks so good.
I love the use of multiple disciplines of making and combining.
That's where I was going with that. It's super cool to see 3D printing, woodworking, and acrylic in there too. I mean, like, that's cool. Nice work. Built over bought. Well, check cheaper, but for built over bought.
But does the outer ring spin?
It definitely should be a fidget spinner. Or I'm guessing it's just a frame though.
Probably, yeah. But I mean, it would be very satisfying.
Come on, man. You gotta make it spin now. And then what you need is or have the center spin like a hubcap, like in the wheel in the middle.
Like spinners.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing it now, have to remake it, he says.
Fantastic.
I love it. Is that 16 hours? Is that per plate? I hope not.
The P key is right next to the left bracket key. So yeah, that's what he meant to say.
Somebody says it's not. Zombie said this is not for kids. Dang it.
Maybe the assembly isn't for kids. Is it fragile? When it's,
I bet you.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would hold up to the Tristan test. I should find out.
The Tristan test.
Yeah. All right. Tech Cheaper. I designed, laser cut, and 3D printed this unique project. I feel like I just read this. Journal for my wife's birthday.
Okay.
Binder rings from Amazon if it's A5 paper.
We're doing so another multiple material.
Yeah.
Huh.
Got bindings.
Very cool.
This is a cool idea. This looks like a 3D printed.
Yeah.
Maybe 3D printed frame for the wood.
And then a wooden inlay.
And the wooden, inlay. That's cool.
That's very cool. And then laser
looks like it's probably pretty light too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the material that's removed, it's probably relatively light.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how can we make this a puzzle? We got to get these rings out, right? But you can't. No.
I don't think it's a puzzle, dude.
But it could be.
Once you start seeing puzzles, everything can be a puzzle.
Now everything is going to get more complicated.
Fragile too. Lindsay says Tristan is gentle most of the time. You're right. He does play, like, literally has like dollhouse size things that he plays with. Like, but Lindsay makes all these really cool stuff, and he's like really careful. Sometimes you just got to plow the field, and when you're pushing that thing through the carpet.
Jim, you are making so much more work for Tech Jeeper.
Puzzle journal, dang it, version 2. to get it open. There's I don't know. All right, next, Trevor 3D prints. I feel like we've been seeing.
Oh, here we go.
Which version do you like, the clear or the green? I did. Let's go look. Clear's pretty cool.
How is that so translucent? I haven't seen resin prints that are that.
Nice.
The clear. Not the green. The green one's cool, but I mean the clear one. I haven't seen resin prints that are that clear. Usually they're a little yellowed and a little not dingy, but I don't know how foggy.
There's a lot of really good resins now that you can get, and there's some ways to treat them after. And I've seen people use polyurethane.
Okay.
And they put polyurethane over the top. It actually brings out the clearness and stuff. But I've also seen the resins that are out now compared to like even a few years, like 2-3 years ago, you can get much more clear prints, which is pretty cool. Yeah, yellow's for overexposure.
One of these, so when I see the two of these together, though, the regular Hulk feels like Mountain Dew, and then the other one feels like Pepsi Clear. Did we just lose Joe?
Uh-oh. Maybe.
I think we just lost Joe.
He might have accidentally closed the tab, or he's like trying to tell us for an hour that he had to go, but we didn't listen to him.
Oh no, I hope not.
I'm just joking. Joe, if you're there, jump back on if you want to. So yeah, I don't know, man. I love both of them, but the green is pretty cool too.
I'm messaging him.
Nice work. Internet outage. We're gonna keep going though. Next, Christoph, the crafty maker.
Love this guy. Hey, this looks familiar, Jim.
Unearthed mystery, yeah, with his history with his multi-layered dinosaur skeleton shadow box. It does look familiar.
Yeah, why does this look familiar?
Chad, let me know what you think of this one.
You're trying to avoid it.
It looks familiar because
Bosch said it was CrowdStrike. That's how we lost him.
Yes, his probably CrowdStrike.
Right versus Mountain Dew. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, with the Hulks.
Let me know what you think of the dinosaur. I think it's pretty cool.
I like it. Dinosaur themed this week, huh?
I may or may not have a gigantic version of this by the crafty maker that is supposed to be printed on the Giga, the Orange Storm Giga. And I'm talking like, I think the frame alone was something like 4 or 5 kilograms. Just for the frame, not the cards. So yeah, Crystal Pepsi, drop it.
Thank you.
But yeah,
I like a Pepsi frame.
Yeah, crafty makers frames are
awesome. Want a Pepsi kid, you're gonna have to pay for it.
I do have one massive version to print on the Orange Storm Giga if it stops being so temperamental. So we're gonna get that done soon.
Yep,
we're gonna get that done soon.
Yes. Yeah, because crafty you worked with Christoph on.
No, I have this exact frame, like the dinosaur, everything. He actually designed it for the Orange Storm Giga first, and then 2 weeks ago I think he reached out and said, hey, is it okay if I release that? And I said, absolutely, man, it's your design, release it. And I'll get it printed as soon as I can, because that's why I commented I love this.
Steven, I believe that was the first Back to the Future, wasn't it? That was when Marty goes to the 1950s and he says, I want a Pepsi free.
Right.
And the guy with the fun diner hat is like, you want a Pepsi, you're gonna have to pay for it. Yeah.
Offset Maker Lab remixed the awesome TARDIS puzzle by 3D Printy. Dang it, because he's not here anymore. For a wedding decoration. Use standard unpersonalized files for each color swaps on the printables.com in the sweet proto pasta shill colors. And
I kind of wish I was going. I feel like this is going to be like one of the funnest, coolest weddings ever. I want to go. We should crash it.
Ooh,
we should.
We might have to. I mean, like, I think we all should crash it, and we should all drive. We should all drive up on our death racers, like have our death racers drive up the aisle.
One death racer per foot.
Yeah, I promise I'll switch my weapon to TPU on the new one though. That way it doesn't take people out.
I wonder if so his video was kind of lagging a little bit every now and then. I wonder if he just I wonder if he's having internet issues now too.
That's why I said I wonder if the internet definitely CrowdStrike. We'll blame it on CrowdStrike.
Oh, Jeremy said I could be his +1.
Oh, that was awesome. Anyways, I love these the little boxes. They're super cool and they're gonna be really cute on the tables.
I know.
That's Can't wait to see them in person.
So those are puzzle ones, by the way. People can fidget with them while they're
last but not least.
Are we back?
Here we go.
Hey.
I love that you disappeared just before we showed one of your puzzle boxes as a hot make, and then you popped up as soon as he closed the tab.
Yeah.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Perfect timing, dude.
I'll go find it. Give me 1 second.
I spent the entire time kicking the router and
that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if it was internet.
It was CrowdStrike, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what. That's what. What was Jeremy that?
Yeah.
Or was it Tech Jeeper? I can't remember.
I've told this to people before. This is one reason I don't stream is network's terrible here. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Yes. So offset, awesome customization. Love it. And I love that the puzzles were if I'm not butchering this, were part of the proposal. A series of 3D printed puzzle boxes.
There was puzzles, if I remember right.
leading to the other one. So that was.
And these are going to be for wedding decorations.
Yeah. So one of the things that I most enjoy about designing things for people is them taking that design and personalizing it or incorporating it in their lives or gifting it. So this was so awesome to hear. And I've met them twice now at two rep festivals, and I'm just blown away each time. I don't think I actually properly convey how absolutely fantastic it is to see someone's work used in this way. So it's truly appreciated.
Well, the problem I have with this, if I'm honest with you, is they spelled Jim wrong. It says Kim and Ryan. It definitely must be a misprint. No, I love them. They look great, man. Nice. That's awesome. I love that they're using, it's super cool that they're using your model too in their wedding.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, last but not least.
Nope. Second but last. I got another one to send to you.
Okay, perfect. This is the Python 2. Dun dun dun.
So tell me, I've seen this floating around a little bit. This Python AMS Frankenstein. What I mean, what's going on here? What's the benefit of this?
From what I know, it's like another version of an AMS. This one doesn't. I was reading down
it looks like it uses the AMS hardware.
Yeah, and it does not have the RFID readers built into this one. But it's so you can use wider, bigger spools.
Okay.
From what I gather, I don't know a lot about it. It's super cool though. The project's really cool.
So like the 3 kilogram spool.
It's a naked AMS. Yes. Oops. Zombie, you're back.
Welcome back. Different size spools. Okay.
Naked AMS. Yeah, different size spools. Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Cool.
I assume cardboard spools too, because I know that's a issue sometimes.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, they were getting jammed on the old AMS. Yeah, I don't know if that's improved or not. A lot of people were printing the rims around the cardboard spools to kind of make it create less cardboard dust.
Don't tell anybody. I've used cardboard spools the whole time on mine.
So have I. Yeah, I am like
of them.
I've got I've had no issues with cardboard spools in mine.
I think part of the problem is sometimes the cardboard will wrinkle and then the spools roll funny. Sometimes it can shed, and they were worried about the paper shedding down into everything. So just vacuum it out.
The only issue I've had with some cardboard dust is if I'm at the end of a cardboard spool, the spool isn't heavy enough to hold it down, and when the AMS tries to pull it through, it'll lift the spool and it'll rub up against the top lid of the AMS. But that's the only issue. Yep. Yeah,
there's also just issues that
spools, though. I've noticed that I have a couple atomic rolls that are probably 3 or 4 years old that I'm still just kind of picking away at every now and then if I just need that color. Right. Those ones don't fit, but some newer ones that I've ordered recently have been fitting the AMS. So I think they changed their spool design. I should know. I know those guys, but I haven't asked.
There's also just issues that only happen when you are shipping tens of thousands of printers.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, well, dozens and dozens of people are reporting this problem. That could be a very small percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Real quick, Zombie Hedgehog, we showed your the print you did. What the heck was that thing? It wasn't an excavator. It was a tractor, like a construction tractor.
Big blade tractor thing.
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the thing is. Would you recommend it for a 4-year-old? I'm just going to ask real quick. But that
maybe
was
not build it.
That was I'm asking if Caleb can play with it.
Okay.
But that was our hot makes for the week.
Nope, we haven't. Hang on. I sent a link in the private chat for one more.
Hang on. That's right. One more second. Oh, it's by
this one's important. It was a last minute entry.
But it's this guy. Do we even show his stuff here?
Wow. Oh,
K2 Kevin. Here's a last one. Hyped to watch 3D Printy on Hot Makes. Here's some 3D Printy panels reimagined on display at 3D Printopia. Or I'm sorry, it's going to be on display for 2024 at 3D Printopia. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Is this? Oh, it's Sears Tower. Is it? It's supposed to be Sears Tower, right? Is that what that's what that looks like?
That is super cool.
Yeah, that's fun. I love it. I love the bed texture,
right,
as well. That's awesome.
There you go. What do you think, Joe?
I mean, K2 Kevin's been hitting it out of the ballpark with the holographic panels, and then that's also using the custom Printy panel hook that's off the side of the building.
Oh yeah.
So I love the idea of connecting to the system in other ways. So yeah, absolutely fantastic work. And my only complaint is that next time I go to an event where K2 Kevin's also there, I will have the inferior Printy panel display, even though I'm going to event it.
That's awesome. Oh, that's too funny. That is really funny. Yeah, Sears Tower, nice. 3.5 feet, he says. That is super awesome. All right,
that's the size of a toddler, right?
Leaning Tower of Pizza. I said pizza. With Printy panels, like.
Okay.
Huh?
There are some open SCAD remixes of the project by various people, which allow a whole lot of customization. I have not seen skewed panels yet, but it's only a matter of time.
I love it. Cool. Well, that was our hot makes for the week. Again, there's a link in the description below. If you want to check out any of them, go find the Google Drive, find episode 177, and you can see them all. What else do we got, Caleb? I know it's getting late here, and
yeah.
Joe has to go check his router again.
I never asked that.
I'm sorry.
What time zone are you in? I never asked you.
Oh, Eastern. But I am a late owl, so like a night owl. So this is like I'm gonna get breakfast after this.
I'm ready for my next cup of coffee myself. So
yeah.
Awesome.
It's a 3D printer maker chip. There you go. Huh?
I saw that Christoph.
I like the.
I saw that Christoph designed a maker chip dispenser recently as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's some fun ones. There's shooters. There's a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, so I saw the shooter in the previous episode, and I was a little annoyed because I was looking into a maker chip game, and I was thinking to myself. I was saying, like, don't say game. And Caleb, you said, like, you could make a game out of it. And I'm like,
oh, no. I'm sorry.
That was just an idea for you to do it.
Yeah, So I'm thinking of different, like, shuffleboard or curling or something more destructive. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could do. Particularly the idea.
What about a game that uses round chips? I don't know. We could call it something crazy. Pogs.
Or I mean, you could do something with like maybe you drop them into a thing and like you're supposed to connect like 3 or 4 dots. You know, we could call it like Connect 4, maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking Crossfire, but I don't know how to describe that in a generic way without giving away the name.
or what if there was a board with a whole bunch of pegs and you dropped it in the top and it randomly bounced around
Okay.
Until it got to the bottom.
Okay, but okay, wait.
It would like plink.
But hear me out. Hear me out. What if we lay them down flat and we put them on little boxes of different colors, and then the goal, one move at a time, is to get to the opponent's side, and then if you hop over one, you could say checkmate. There might be like kings. We can call it a checkerboard.
Oh, I was thinking, yeah, simpler, just red and black squares. Is not.
Yeah. We're coming up with all
checkmate.
Brand new. Yeah. These are amazing brand new ideas we're coming up with here. Oh my god! So Sarah's across the house. She just said something about blankets with your feet for your feet. I'll tell a quick story real quick.
Oh boy!
If I'm like half asleep, I'm not totally asleep yet. I say things. I don't remember what I'm saying, but apparently I just talk about some random stuff every now and then. And apparently, a few days ago, I was falling asleep. And I said something to Sarah about like, what if there was this invention where we had like blankets or like jackets that we could like put on our feet when they're cold. And she says, "You mean socks?" And apparently I responded with, "Shut up."
I think you should make socks that look like jackets now.
Jacket socks.
Like full winter jackets.
Fantastic. It's like anyway. The situation with Tripod asking him what he does with all of his left socks all over again.
Or his left shoes. Yeah. So what do we got? I know it's getting late. We got to get flying, but
one more time.
Speaking of foot socks, next week's episode looks like you want to do Canada themed prints.
Oh yeah, we haven't done a theme in a while. Yeah, so our guest for next week is going to be Alex, the guy who owns and started Canadian Filaments. So I thought it'd be fun if we did a hot makes theme for next week. Find or make things and tag hot makes that are, I don't know, maple leaves and moose and hockey and syrup. I don't know. Gloves are literally called hand shoes in Dutch. Yes, I love that.
Oh no,
I love it.
Alex is awesome. Yes, but so find things that are Canada themed, or print things that something. Do something. Tag hot makes. We'll show it next week when we have Alex. Spoiler alert: Alex from Canadian Filament is on next week, right?
Yes. Yep. Cool. And I just confirmed with him earlier that he was still on board too. So, and since we rescheduled for last week to this week, but we want to stay on schedule for the most part. So we are doing 2 weeks in a row. We're still going to have next week's episode. And then after that, we're back to our normal every other week schedule. So, I didn't breathe that whole time I said that.
That's because your foot jackets got unzipped. Joe, one more time before we go. Who are you? What do you do? Where can we find your stuff? And how much does it cost?
Oh,
I'm Joe, also known as 3D Printy. It's next to impossible to Google me, so just go to 3dprinty.xyz. That's 3D Printy, all one word, .xyz. And I create various models for free to download, and the vast majority of them are free to sell. So yeah,
there we go.
So they're
also a quick side note. Liz says apparently Royal Nomi has a contest right now for Canadian prints on her Discord. So let's work together. Let's join the contest and tag some of your stuff as a hot mix, and we'll show it off to the Canadian stream next week.
It'll be a super friendly stream, I'm telling you.
A lot of apologizing. Sorry.
All right. It was awesome. A lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here, man. It was really cool to dive into your kind of like your brain as you go through these projects. And now that I'm like diving further into, as we saw on things, I'm like, oh, I have to print this. I think the first thing I need to print is a fire hydrant, because I know Tristan would love a fire hydrant at home. So I'm gonna get that rolling before I leave here. I think so.
There's a simple container one if you don't want the puzzle.
Yeah,
just a simple screw topic.
Okay.
I like the idea of the puzzle one. I think it will be better for the regular one. We'll just say that. He can keep all. He has fire stations and fire trucks and fire ambulance. Yeah, everything, right? And I'm thinking if I print it, he can keep all of that stuff like inside of there, like all the extra stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. All right, guys. Anything else, Caleb?
Nope. I got it. We're good. I'm tired. Sarah just walked in the door and she's like, I'm like, what? She's like, I made dinner. I'm like, I'll be off in a second. She's like, and walked away.
Got the chicken thought, I see.
No, she brought she took the chicken out of the freezer last night. And I was like, are you thawing the chicken? And she's like, yeah, so I'm not yelling about it on the show tomorrow.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much again, man. We really appreciate it. I got to fly. I'm going to hopefully get home. I haven't seen anybody all day because I was at work, and then they went to a pool party. So I didn't see them when I got home. So I'm going to go home and hopefully get a little family time.
There you go.
Thank you again. Everybody else, we'll see you next week. We will be here next week and then back to our every other week, like Caleb said. Joe, anytime, man. Let us know if you want to come back.
Seriously.
Anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
If you're running out of ideas and looking for some ideas, I don't know if you've seen the torture toaster, but maybe we can do a hot makes, some sort of hot makes like puzzle of some sort. You got to get Oreo out of the box.
Well, I don't know. You just gave me a whole bunch of absolutely unique and never done before game ideas to do with the maker chips.
Right.
Yes.
The puzzle is just a bag of Oreos that you can't get open. It's like it's like giving that to Jim is like giving a monkey like a keys in a jar. You know, like you can't.
Yeah. I think there are certain cases where people refuse to follow the puzzle box rules, and I think in that case the hammer would come out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Depends how hungry I was. But with these totally unique and not named games, I think we have some fun ideas too. But all right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Have a great week. I meant it's only Monday. Thank you again for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Check out the boys. And Caleb, that was for you. And everybody else, we will see you next week.
All right.
Bye. Have a great night. Everybody.